All right.
Right, so doing a view up. So we have scheduling, Google Calendar, CCC. I'm fine doing the Google Calendar. CCC's nonprofit budget and setup. We could also talk about the methodology or even schedule for the methodology. We have scheduling. We could talk about scheduling and scheduling other sessions. We're on segment 6 now, so we're going to hour 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm definitely fine to wrap up and check out and be done as well.
Yeah, it's been 3 hours. All right, 3 hours and
15 minutes.
Yeah.
And one thing
I mean, I'm good. I'm good to the Google Calendar. I think it's very important to get organized. So I'm okay.
I think it also relates to our management too, which is kind of the theme for today.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm good. It depends. I mean, it's very late for Joyce and Moss. I'm okay going on. So you guys wanna stay on, or you want to check out?
It's okay, calendar. Let's go for the calendar.
There's also Joyce's computer. That should be pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty quick, yeah.
So, and then the other thing that I thought about was we could do basically SVG/FQN status. Like, I wouldn't mind making a quick proposal on postponing or rethinking SVG launch planning and FQN structure. So I wouldn't mind doing a quick proposal on that to make sure we're all on the same page on how we want to move forward. So anyways, I would say we could either do just Joyce computer scheduling, or we could add a third one with the FQN SVG status proposal. We want to add that as like a third option. So let's do 3, 4.
For me, before jumping into a status proposal and deciding to postpone and change the timeline, I think it was important to update the priorities to include the workflow dynamics, team functionality, all of that. So once we do that, then we say, all right.
SVG launch planning status, right? Launch.
Yeah, which is the update of the priorities.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, so then we just want to update the priorities on the launch plan. Cool. Sounds good. But let's make sure it's quick. So it should be like 5 minutes, right? 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that could be quick. So
it should be quick.
It depends. I'm good. I'm good to keep going. I mean, but it's been a long so. If we need to choose top priority, I would do scheduling.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think scheduling is going to take the longest. It's just going to take. I think Joyce computer should be super fast, 5-10 minutes. The scheduling is going to take longer, and then the SVG launch plan update should go super quick. I mean, all we would be doing is just making sure that in the plan we have the priority listed for workflow, dynamics, team functionality. Like that just needs to be added. It should take a minute or two to add it, and that's it. I mean, what else is there to do?
Yeah, I mean, if we just want to do that, yeah, it's true. If we don't also stick to.
Yeah, and then we can go on a little more if we have time or whatever. But from the launch plan update, then there's significant other subtopics and things that we could talk about related to changing and where we want to go with all of that, but and how we're going to achieve those goals and how long it will achieve those goals. That's the big
thing. I was thinking to update the priorities, and by updating all the priorities, and because they need to be updated. We have been doing work, so
okay. Well, that
updating the priorities and including also these new priorities that we want to include. So a general update, not only including the new priorities.
Well, I would think that would be a really good thing to do today if we can get that done before the end. So I'm down to stick around until we get that done. So
Great,
so I'm proposing Joyce's computer for 5 to 10 minutes, scheduling for 10 to 30 minutes, and then the SVG launch planning update for 10 to 20 minutes.
Scheduling.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool.
Right.
And just to note here that if we had a timekeeper, like we always go over time. So a timekeeper is not supposed to like keep us magically on time. But the timekeeper is supposed to be like, okay, we have 5 minutes left for Joyce's computer. Okay, we're over by 5 minutes. Oh, we're over by 10 minutes. So to keep reminding the group how much time we are taking so that everybody is like on the same page.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone wants to step up and be a timekeeper, but that's that is definitely a policy that we're messing up on and missing. So noting that. All right, so let's go on.
Yeah, I mean, with the positions, we're not doing the position. I think the position were so important. We should definitely go back and doing positions.
Right now?
No, in general. Right now, no. I mean, right now, at the beginning of the session, in the setup of the session.
Yeah.
I can do the timekeeping for now if you don't want to, but I don't want to limit too much.
That's all I'm asking is that, for the organizational timekeeping, not the human timekeeping, the organizational timekeeping.
Yeah, organizational timekeeping.
Usually you have someone checking in every 5 minutes at least to know where we are within the topic. We're just not,
I can do that for now.
All right, so let's go to topic number 3. Joyce. So you don't want to.
Yes, I link.
I'm creating. It's already there. Topic 3.
So you have one option here. All I see is one option.
I have 3.
3 options.
3 options.
Okay. No, I was only able to copy one option. Oh, these are pictures. Oh, option 2. So there's no writing here. I'm not really doing pictures here. So these are 3 options for brand new computers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what I talked about yesterday is that there was like 6 or 7 options, like let's say 5 to 7 options, one of which was a new computer.
Okay, I wrote here on top, Jay, that what I have now is these 3. So HP, desktop, and Fujitsu. So
so there
for the HP, it's always turning off. That's the one that's making blue screen, the one I'm using now, right now. So that was the one that was hanging also before I was making the notes and everything. And then the desktop is for my son. And he put an additional 2 gigabytes, so it became 6 gigabyte, the technician. And
of RAM. You have 6 gigabytes of RAM.
Yeah, of
so it's
RAM
super
only.
Fast.
It's not very fast because this
it
HP
should be very fast.
This HP is I have is 16. This 16 already. So this can 16 gigabyte of RAM. So I don't know why it's turning blue all of a sudden. Maybe I don't know. It's a 2018
You have 16 gigabyte of RAM on the HP.
Yeah, 16, right? I don't know.
16?
Am I correct?
As well.
Am I correct? I don't know. I don't know. And then
16 it's
my
it's
computer
like,
has 16 gigabytes of RAM.
Your computer is 16?
Yeah,
my computer
so.
has 16 gigabytes of RAM. When I look at it right here, so it's like
it's super fast.
Pretty normal, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know why it became like that. It's very slow.
My computer is 4.
4.
Yeah, 4.
That's
the usual. Usually, a computer has 4, 8. When you try to buy a computer that has 4 gigabytes of RAM and a computer that has 8, the price is almost double. It doubles almost from 4 to 8, and then 8 goes to 16, 16 to 38. No?
It was 32. Very cheap before. It's 2018, so it was like.
Yeah, so I think that if you have a computer that has 16 gigabytes of RAM, what we could look at would be what we should be looking at should be a how do you call oh my god,
Wait, I will check the.
like a budget for repair to make it well, right?
I don't know. Wait, what is?
I don't know. I mean, why do you feel you need a new computer when you have such a
Because
strong machine?
it's turning off now. It's blue screen. The whole day it's been turning off for maybe 8 times now. So I
Yeah, but have
don't
you ever
know.
brought it for repairs? Maybe you bring it
Yeah,
for
yeah.
repairs. You get the
Have you done like a full reinstall, like completely wipe the machine?
I don't know. I did not do anything yet except to update the because it's asking me for updates.
Yeah,
So
for
I
me,
did.
updates are like the worst because for me, 90% of all of my computers problems happen when I update, right?
Oh,
Because it's like when you especially when you have old systems and stuff, the updates create all of the
problems.
problems that you get all of these updated systems that don't work with the old software and the old coding, and
Mm-mm.
you get all these more and more bugs. And so as you continue to update years and years and years later, you get more and more problems. And so updating is good. And the best ways to update is to constantly be updating when your computer is working smoothly and constantly updating your computer in a working condition, right? But when your computer is no longer working, to suddenly do all the updates, typically, in my experience, causes more problems than
Mm.
less problems. But obviously, updating is definitely a solution. But what happens when a computer stops working is the updates no longer fix the problem, and instead of updating, you have to wipe the entire computer clean and install the latest version. Sometimes you have to install an older version, but typically you just install the most newest version so that you have a clean slate, right? And then it actually will work. Whereas the updates on the old version that's already corrupted just don't actually fix the problem. Anyways,
Oh,
I would say that my recommendation in this case is that we just spend the 5 minutes listing all the options, because obviously we talked about the options before, but we actually did not write them down, and so we don't have them. So I would just say we just sit down, write down all of the options, and then we can see if there's any particular preference and then go from there. Does that sound good?
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, it's 16. I saw I look at it's 16 gigabyte of installed
yeah.
RAM.
So to
Yeah.
buy a computer of 16 gigabyte, you spend at least $1,500
Yeah,
to $2,000.
it's
So I
already
think you
very expensive.
Yeah, but there's no question that a 2018 model is like super old. I mean, that's like ancient compared to like when you're talking about computers, you know?
yeah, it's a bit old, 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm
That's
also
that's that's
surprised. I'm also
that's usually
surprised
the
because
time that they put inside the computers to fall apart.
Great. Yes,
5 years.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about in terms of all the updates and everything. That's why you updating can sometimes be the worst thing. All right.
It's what happened with my Mac.
okay.
It just fell apart.
Okay,
That's
so
bad.
let's go through the options, and then we're gonna have sub options.
Yeah,
So
please help me. Yeah, please help me do the options.
so we have options and sub options. So the primary option is self-fixing, and you have three current computers available that none of them work well. Computers are available, but you said one of them your son is using. I didn't really understand that part.
Yeah, my son is using before, and then it also suddenly getting stopped now when he put the 2 gigabyte RAM because I want it fast. I said so. He put the 2 gigabyte RAM more. So and then when we were using, and he put the Windows 10. It was before Windows 7. So
Yeah, I mean,
he
again,
put.
that's going into that updating where you start updating everything, and then the old computers don't work as well. Sometimes with the
Mm.
newer updates, you know.
So why the
Anyway,
technician doesn't know that?
say what?
Why the technician doesn't know that? Why he did that?
Well, because that's what they are told to do, right? So if you're a technician, you're getting paid by computer companies, and that's your job. If you follow the instruction manuals, they're going to always tell you to install the newest software, always, right? So the problem with always installing the newest software is that it just creates problems with the old computers because, like, I mean, the number of computers that break because you create updates is astronomical. I mean, that's like one of the primary times when computers break is because they can't handle the new updated software. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So and again, it's called planned obsolescence. This is exactly what Alberto was just referring to, where
Yeah,
computer
and
companies
obsolescence.
actually program their computers through the updates and all the systems so that they break down so that they can make more money. This is like part of our society, and it's not even just computer companies. Pretty much every single company does this to maximize the amount of money they can make, as opposed to maximizing the utility for the end
Yeah,
consumer.
half of the budget of research and development go into understanding exactly how much the lifespan of a product should be and will be, so that the consumer will buy a new one, right?
Anyways, let's get focused on the
Okay,
options.
okay.
So we have the self-fixing the team. You know, we can schedule with you to sit down and try to fix your computer. There's even ways that you can remote access computers where we can actually work on your administrative interface for the computer itself. And then this is just, we need to know the cost to fix and if it is even feasible, right? So then you have, new computer 1, new computer 2, new computer 3, or we could just say new computer 1, 2, or 3. Right. So basically, you have new computer option. Okay. So from here, there's renting computers, and then you also have access to internet cafe, and then the last one is, for the last two are basically sub options for a lot of these, which is that you can either propose back pay to own the computer yourself. Otherwise, you would propose a business expense in that, basically Innovate United LLC would own the computer, et cetera, et cetera. Either way, this would be part of our monthly overall budget, right? It's part of HR budget. But we have to think about it in the context of the budget as well. All right. So, I mean, you think about the $716 for option 3, right? This would be equivalent to what we're at, like $3,500. So 716 divided by 335. So it's probably going to be somewhere in the range of 20% of our budget. Just to give us like an idea of what that's about. All right, so those are the options that I can think of. Is there anything I'm missing, or?
Wait a second. Yeah, 20%. Propose back to on the computer. Yeah.
Because I cannot work, so I cannot work properly.
Yeah, I mean, new
So many
computer,
things
but
to do.
it can also be a used computer, right? New brand computer and new used computer, like
A used computer?
yeah, Ate bought a used computer when we bought her the
Where?
computer. Well, you can go to an electronic shop. They have plenty of computers that they sell. They put them back in, like they put them brand new. They fix them everything, and then you also have a guarantee. I mean, I usually bought used computers.
So
Is
these
it better?
these are all brand new computers. These option 1, 2, and 3 are brand new computers.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, in English it's difficult. The word new is the same, but in other languages they have a different word for something that's brand new and something that's new but used. So it's new for you, but it's used for someone else. So in English we use the same word for both, whereas in other languages it's different. Another idea that I thought of as a completely viable option.
Guys, I need to 1 minute. Be back in a minute. Sorry.
Okay. So another perfectly viable option is to send Atay's computer to Joyce.
Huh? How?
We could send Atay's computer to Joyce.
How to send Jay?
What?
How to send it? Through
The mail.
package?
Yeah, package in the mail, right? So we would just mail it from Atay to you, because technically speaking, the computer that Atay is using is not her property. It's owned by us because we bought it for her. It's part of the business. So this comes down to option number 46 and 47. So Atay proposed for option 47 that she would not own her computer, and instead we own the computer. So if Atay's not using her computer because she's primarily focusing on maternity leave right now and working with, taking care of her child, why
Maybe
not
there.
send it to you to use the computer? I don't know how well it works or whatever, but the point is that is a viable option.
Oh, there might be taxes in the airport or in the what do you call this? In the ports or something. That's what I know here. They're putting taxes.
Yeah, and it's there's gonna be a cost to the actual package and transfer and all that kind of stuff. So
Right,
we just have to look at
I'm
the
back.
cost analysis of the actual transfer. Anyways, Alberto, we were talking about the option of actually sending Atay's computer to Joyce, since Atay isn't really doing much work right now.
Yeah, they're close. She's in Cameroon, Egypt.
Cameroon?
I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, what about Ate?
Well, I mean, in the short term, Atay's not doing a lot of work right now because she's on maternity leave, and then
She'll be back now. It's the last week now of her maternity leave. So
wow, it's already
that-
been 6 weeks, so fast.
yeah, so fast. So I don't know. I mean, it's an option, but might create frictions in the team. And hopefully, Ate will be back. And I don't know how much can it take, and what if they miss the mail? I mean, they sent, like for example, they sent me a box from Italy, and it's
Yeah,
been
there are
almost 3
taxes
months
also.
now.
Yeah. Anyways, I think the number one option would be for me at this time is to try to help you fix your computer.
Yeah.
If you or help have someone pay someone to fix it. Like, I don't see why it should cost more than like $50 to $100 to try to get your computer fixed.
Yeah, in Egypt, how much it's gonna cost in Egypt to get a good fix of the computer, right?
But we should be able to help you do a full what's called if you schedule, we should be able to help you do what's called a wipe. A complete wipe and clean new reinstall of the stuff. And you said this is
The problem with this option is that if the computer doesn't work, like for example the first one, or I mean we also need to see which computer we want to focus on. But like if the first computer doesn't work, the one with the 16 giga of RAM, then you need. I mean,
I think I
you need to do
remember
a backup.
telling me.
Yeah. I don't know how you can do it if the computer doesn't
I remember
work at
it's
all.
telling to update to Windows 11.
Okay, well you could clean install Windows 11 as well, right? It's fine. But the point is that
You're gonna reset the computer.
I was trying to fix the computer. The computer is so bad that you're getting blue screens all the time.
So we will.
You have had your data backed up. If you don't
Okay.
have your data backed up, that's a bigger problem. But hopefully, most of it's on Google or whatever. But the point is that you clean wipe your computer, or you full wipe the computer, complete wipe, and then you clean install the Windows 10 or 11 from the very beginning.
So shall I press update to Windows update to Windows 11
reset
after I clean it, after I back up everything?
Yes. So after you do the full clean install, you with whatever you're doing Windows 10 or 11, then you do all the updates that it asks for until there's no more updates to do, and then your computer should be working.
Okay, so I'll back up first. You mean to say, and then I will remove
You
all.
can back up first, but you should have already backed up. I mean, basically, all you do is blue screen, and you can't even access your computer. Like at some point, you have to decide whether or not your computer is no longer accessible. There is no ability to back it up.
Yeah. Okay. So I will. Okay. Okay then.
But anyways, the point is that if you want to schedule, we can try to help you do that as like one, and that
So
would be
I did a terrible job for organizational timekeeper, but I mean, guys, we've been going on for 25 minutes.
Okay.
15 minutes over.
Okay.
Should also take a break for human timekeeping. So, I mean, I think we don't have enough options here to vote or make a proposal. I mean, I think that buying a new brand computer should be the last option. First, you should try to understand how much it's gonna cost you to fix these machines.
Okay, maybe it just need really cleaning right now, maybe. So
maybe, but
okay. So if it doesn't work, so let's just go to the other options later. But first, we will do this one. I'll try also to do on my own time, Jay. You said I back up
whatever you need to do to get it fixed. That's what matters. So if you need help with that, we're happy to help you. But the bottom line, I think, is that it's due diligence, right? As an organization, we require due diligence to make sure we're going through all of the steps that make sense, like trying to fix the existing computers, trying to find a used computer, looking at renting computers, the internet cafe access. All these things need to be clear and have a clear cost benefit analysis, so that when we start talking about spending, $600 to $700 on a brand new computer, there's some justification, because there's so many. We haven't done a due diligence yet on just like the basic steps. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, we're happy to try to work all this out. And just so you know, I when I buy a computer, I have typically spent $1,000 to $1,200. I think is the most I spend for the last 6 years. I tried the cheapest possible MacBook or whatever they're called. And so $700 to $1,000 is a big difference,
I mean, and nowadays you can find very good machines for $250, $300.
Yes, like if you did it, if you did like a Chromebook, which would allow you to do all the work that we require for $250, you should be able to do even less. You should be able to get anything and everything you need to done with the work that we need.
So for example, I bought my Mac crashed, and I bought online. I don't know. And Brazil is very expensive generally on these electronic things because there's very high importation taxes. And I bought this Chromebook, which is Chromebook, which is basically is just a screen where you go on Google Chrome and you do everything online. But that's what we need now. I bought it specifically to be efficient with FQN, and it's another world for me. It's amazing, and I spent $200 brand new, $200 brand new. Chromebook, Samsung, 4 GB RAM, and it works perfectly. It's another world for me.
Okay.
All right. So, and then you can also ask Atay what Atay did, right? So you should ask Atay what computer she found and how she found it, because that's also, I'm pretty sure Atay bought a used computer. But if you bought a used Chromebook, it could be like $50, $100. All right. So let's go on to the next topic, shall we?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. 5-minute break.
Okay. We can take a 5-minute break first. That's fine.
We should take a break. We haven't been going for 30 minutes, but we can also take a break at the top of the hour.
Yeah, so we take a 5-minute break and then we go into scheduling. Sound good?
Yeah, or we can take the break at the top of the hour.
It will be long, maybe this one.
But I'm fine taking a 5-minute break now. If we missed a break, I'm fine taking a 5-minute break.
Oh, okay.
5-minute break.
I mean, I would prefer taking a 5-minute break now and then taking another 5-minute break at the top of the hour, or we can take a 10-minute break at the top of the hour.
Yeah, that's what I was suggesting. Let's go
Okay,
to
so let's take a
top of the
10-minute break at the top of the hour. So that means we do 10 more minutes to start the scheduling, and then we take a 10-minute break, and we start 5 minutes after the hour, okay? All right, so we're going into
Amazing.
topic 4, scheduling. All right, so there's 2 components to this topic. Actually, there's 3 components to this topic. 3 components to the topic. The first component is our team schedule, weekly schedule, sessions, what our goals and everything like that we're doing. So we basically have our weekly schedule and our sessions, all that, right? And we have our team sessions Google Calendar, and then we've got our task and responsibility Google Calendar. Okay. And then these second 2 could be kind of like you could say we just have 2 things. So they're basically our team schedule, and then there's the Google Calendar. So this would be the human schedule, which is our team schedule, and then you have the Google Calendar automated scheduling. Okay. So you could break it down into 2 sections where you have the team schedule, which is the human manual schedule, and then you've got the Google automated scheduling. Okay, does that make sense? And then under the Google automated scheduling, you've got the team sessions Google Calendar for automated reminders, and you have the tasks and responsibilities Google Calendar, which for the automated reminders. Okay.
Yeah. So these components, they are all required, or we can choose one.
We've never worked on the Google calendars before. This is the first time. So
yeah. So Google
Calendars is a new responsibility and assigned work.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that this human manual schedule with the spreadsheet that we're supposed to update, it's not working. It doesn't work very well.
Well, that's because we just don't do it. I mean, it works perfectly fine if we do it.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, it also creates a bit of yeah. I mean, we had assigned Laura at the time to do team scheduling, but then she never really did it, and it was kind of I don't know. I think that what's really cool and could really help us out a lot is to have to take one of the Google calendars that we have and update it and try to make it work, because I mean, an automated calendar that also gives you reminders and stuff, it's very helpful. Automatically on your phone, on your computer, everywhere you get reminders.
So I mean, yeah, I have no problem doing the Google automated reminders, and we can set that up, but it doesn't replace the need to have human scheduling, right? We still have to do human scheduling. We still have to manage our schedule. That's not going to change. So whether or not we set up automated reminders and actually have, like, think about it like this: the Google Calendar does 2 things. One is it sends out automatic reminders, and 2, it'll go directly on the website. So it will publish all of our calendars so that the public can see the exact sessions and can click on them and can join the sessions or whatever they need to do, right?
Yeah. So, I'm saying, like, for example, for the work session, right, the policy is that whoever makes the proposal, then if the proposal became a scheduled session, he was required then to update the team schedule of the approved and agreed sessions. So now, instead of updating the spreadsheet, he would update the Google Calendar, setting up the reminders to the workers that have agreed to the session and these kind of things. And whoever is doing the reminders for the main sessions as soon as somebody
But do you think
responds.
it's because people are not going to do their sessions unless it's a Google automated reminder?
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, it's that it would be really to improve our team functionality, right?
Yeah. So I mean, for me, we okay. Let me take a step back, right? I think by doing the work that we already have assigned would improve our functionality, right? We don't need to create new things in order to improve the functionality. Yes, we can
You just
update.
need to do them.
We can update and improve our existing systems and processes and project management models to be more effective. Of course, we can do that. But if we implement what we already have, we will be much more functional. We're just not implementing what we already have. So the first and most important thing is that there must be, let's think about some criteria here, right? Criteria on line 20. The first and most important thing is that it must be simple, human, accessible, and clear, right? And a spreadsheet does all of those things. Okay, a spreadsheet is very simple, very accessible, very clear, right? So let's think about what that looks like. Because some people don't even use Google Calendars and all the automated things like setting up the calendars correctly is a whole process. Plus, it goes directly to the website. So whatever's on the website is going to be public, right? You probably want to be verifying it and have someone who actually knows how to do it. So also, the other thing that makes sense is that there must be a easily editable document that matches the Google Calendar and website, right? So if all you have is the Google Calendar, as soon as there's a mistake in the Google Calendar, there's no verification, and there's no backdrop, and there's no simple thing that everyone can access, right? And it's also very, very important to note, right? Note everyone's Google Calendar always looks different. Right? So if your Google Calendar is your actual document that verifies the data, in some ways it's not verifiable because every single person's Google Calendar is going to look different based on their time zone, based on their own calendars and what their viewing looks like and what computer they're working on, or whether they're on a phone or whether they're on whatever. It's always going to look different. Okay?
Yeah, this is a big problem. I didn't think about it.
So when you think about the minimal necessity for team scheduling is the following, and this is what I always come back to. And you see me do this all the time. Everyone's talking blah blah blah, schedule, blah 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 blah, and everything's just chaos. And then what I do is I'm like, wait guys, let's stop. Today is Cobalt, right? And we are talking about Thursday, Friday, right? And then after Cobalt, we have Sonic. And then after Sonic, there's Phoenix. And then it's like, okay, Cobalt, we continue X session. All right, Sonic, new session. And then, Buddy Team, blah, 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 blah. And then you actually have a schedule. And then everybody knows what's going on. And it's literally that simple, right? So if you look at the week, you basically have Sunday, Monday, right? And no one does this. I'm the only one who ever does this. It's so silly because everyone should be doing this. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then on the top, you've got New World, right? Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
The New World.
I can do that.
Yeah. So the point is that this is not complicated at all. It's just that nobody does it. And when everything falls to complete chaos, I do it. And I'm just like, slow down. Let's just write down the freaking schedule. It literally takes a box on a spreadsheet, 7, 8 wide by 8 or 9 long, right? So we multiply that. Let's say 8 by 8. So it's 48 boxes
64.
on a spreadsheet. 64 boxes on a spreadsheet. Okay.
I don't remember what's the octane. Sonic, Phoenix, Dynamic, and
So it was
Fuzuri.
Phoenix, dynamic fulcrum. I think
Fulcrum.
Fulcrum because dynamic. Yeah. Fulcrum, nice. Yeah.
Right. So it does not need to be complicated, right? And the simpler it is, and just having a simple spreadsheet where everyone can see the schedule for the week is what you need. That's the step one, right? Then you can start plugging in individual hours and plugging in the actual buddy teams and plugging in all the other stuff. But the most important thing is at least getting the repetitive, regular schedule set up and organized throughout, or at least for New World. I mean, for just New World, which is all I really focus on, it's like a 7x4 box. Like, do we really need to, know how to deal with Google Calendar programming to have a 7x4 box that we can copy into any notes in any session within 10 seconds? Right? So you guys follow me in here? It's like how simple it can be to just have our New World schedule in like a box, and then we can work out all the other details and then make sure that our Google Calendar matches the actual agreed upon work schedule itself, right? The work schedule is not a Google Calendar. The work schedule is simply a document of our agreements, and our scheduling agreements don't even happen on Google Calendar, nor do they happen on a spreadsheet. All of our agreements on scheduling happen within sessions when we're talking like human beings, or on Discord or email or some sort of chat where we're writing messages with text like human beings. Right? So that's the foundation to scheduling, and that's the foundation to team scheduling. As soon as we turn team scheduling into a tech system, we lose control as workers. And it's perfectly fine. It happens all the time. And then basically everyone's just stuck into whatever the schedule that the manager set up, which is fine. If that's the model that we want to do, we can have a top-down model where whoever controls the schedule forces the workers to work when they are available, when they have to work, and then that's it. And then that's the model that we can use.
Yeah, Jay, exactly. The problem is exactly for me, the problem is that I need to change position on this, because Google Calendar is not verifiable, it's not controllable. We should go back to our spreadsheet.
Well, no, we're not. It's not about going back to the spreadsheet. We need to
doing
the work that's already been assigned. The fact that people don't do their assigned work is what concerns me, and I don't understand why people stop doing the work that they were assigned. That's what doesn't make sense, right? So I would be fine revisiting the team scheduling responsibilities and understanding what we want out of the responsibilities, but I also am fine just going on to the Google Calendar, but understanding that the foundation to the Google Calendar training, right? So Google Calendar Management Training is starting with like step 0 is the agreed upon schedule, team schedule spreadsheet, or whatever spreadsheet we want to use. I don't care what it is. It could be a document, it could be a spreadsheet. The point is that that's the foundation to the Google Calendar, right? Because without that, how do you know what to put on the Google Calendar? What goes on the Google Calendar, what doesn't go on the Google Calendar is very difficult to know. And remember, this is updating our website. The way I think about the Google Calendar is if you want to be involved in the Google Calendar work, you're managing the website. This is the front end of the website. Our Google Calendar is the front end of the website. Okay.
Okay. I think what we need to do is the tactical ops worker criteria, because if we get back in implementing the policies on the worker criteria, there is the 1 week in advance schedule, right? That is very important. And so how do you verify if somebody has a 1 week in advance schedule? By going to the spreadsheet. So if somebody doesn't update the spreadsheet with his schedule, he goes into individual upfront pay stub.
Yeah. So those are all definitely very important components that we need to address in terms of our scheduling.
So since we're all here,
I
maybe
have to hold back. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
What is the money support Saturday, Sunday?
We are scheduling more money support because the Tuesday, Wednesday doesn't seem to be enough by itself.
yeah. So it's either Andromeda or Cobalt. I mean, we know we want to make it happen on Saturday, but we leave it flexible for Saturday. So we check in Andromeda, and we see either Andromeda or Cobalt. There's no already plans. I mean, we know it's going to happen within those octans, but we don't have a fixed time yet. It's flexible. So since we're all here, why don't we address? Nobody voted on the proposal for the SVG work session that's overlapping Andromeda on Wednesday, Thursday with the Alliance support.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's the desired outcome for this topic, but I have a lot of thoughts that I'm trying to hold back on. So what I was about to say was that I have a lot of things about the schedule that I'm want to say, but I'm holding back on it because I feel like it applies to.
It applies to.
Jay was lost. Hello, Jay.
We lost Jay.
Just type in.
And priorities. So,
Oh.
We lost a little bit, Jay. So you're holding back because it applies to
the methodology model,
right.
which would relate to how we schedule in our team regular scheduled sessions and all that. I'm fine penciling in for now. We could pencil in the work session for Hydra, but again, I have a lot to say here. But again, I think it's kind of off topic. So I'm trying to hold myself back from saying a lot of things because I feel like the topic itself. You just go back to the desired outcome here was to get the Google Calendar set up. Right?
Yeah, but I after the premises and everything we said, I don't think it's our priority. Our priority is in my point of view, our priority is to, again, goes back to tactical ops, worker criteria, worker coordination. Because if we start doing that properly, then obviously one of the main criteria it's the 1 week schedule in advance.
But the key is if. Right? And if we do it properly, So for me, it brings us back to the methodology where until we actually create and understand our methodology, everything is a big if because we aren't doing it properly and we aren't getting work done. Right? So what I like about the Google Calendars is actually the second component, which is we have a Google Calendar that oversees all the tasks and responsibilities. So when we talked about, if we go back to topic number 2, which was the management, we have our new policy on the proposal for the policy keepers. Every day, there's supposed to be an automated message reminder that reminds the policy keepers to do the 0 to 9, spectrum for policies for that day, right? That's an automated model. So that can either be done in 2 ways. 1, it can be done with the Discord bot, which we're not doing. And 2, it can be done with the Google Calendar. And so on the Google Calendar, we could have a task reminder that pops up every day and sends everybody a notification to do their policy tracking or policy keeping spectrum, right? And the same can be true with all of the tasks and responsibilities that aren't getting done right now, right? For example, the scheduling, we can have a reminder that every week everybody needs to do the scheduling, or they get on a reminder that tells everybody that we need to do the basic worker involvement criteria. And for me, that's a really good thing to have these automated reminders, and they're really easy to do on Google Calendar, right? And it's a lot easier on the Google Calendar, in my opinion, than it is for the Discord channel. And I think it might be more useful because I feel like we kind of ignore the Discord bots, kind of, right? But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but I used them recently again. It's working perfectly. But yeah, but I'm what I'm what, can I go a little bit on a tangent very quickly? I mean,
Sure, but I feel like it would spend less time if we just did the short version of the Google training and see if anyone's interested in taking the responsibility than to talk about not doing it. Because I mean, even if we decide not to prioritize it, it still eventually needs to be done. It's not like we're getting rid of Google calendars and automated reminders. But yeah, go for it, Alberto.
yeah, no, I'm great with that. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. No, I mean, okay. To go back to what you said, okay, I'm glad we had this topic because this topic made it clear that we still need to do the spreadsheet and so the Google Calendar cannot replace that, but it's something that we're putting on top. No, my little tangent is the following. So we passed now a good policy, which is the deadlines for the status updates, right? But doing the status updates has nothing to do with the work getting done, because we also can keep having a status on work on let's say scheduling, team scheduling, or the worker criteria. I mean, the worker criteria has its own upfront pay stop, individual upfront step, so it's different. But the other work, we can keep saying, okay, the status, no work happened, no work happened, no work happened, and nothing happens if the work doesn't happen. What we are required by policy and the deadline is just to update on the status. All right, so we have that amazing. You remember, Jay, we have that policy about you remember the all work. There was 3 weeks, right? Every 3 weeks, we have a list of work priorities that need to be worked on. Okay, it doesn't matter if we create output or anything gets really accomplished, but it needs to get worked on, and also every 3 week. But that's also part of work criteria, not to have the VA session at least once every 3 weeks. So my question is, Jay, since we have this new status policy update, doesn't it make sense also to start bringing back that policy of the old work priorities make it simple, make it more light, okay, because a lot of work we put it on hold. But I was
So for me, it's like the idea that all these policies are gone and we need to bring them back is just not how I see things. For me, it's that we just didn't prioritize that particular policy because we never got rid of it, right? So
yeah,
it still exists. It's still there. It's just a matter of doing the work. The reason why we stopped doing a lot of the policies is because we just didn't have the capacity to do the work. And obviously, we still don't have the capacity to do the work. So we can't bring back all policies because it's more than we can handle. So the bottom line is that we can easily just do it and bring it back and start doing the work. I mean, there's nothing that prevents us from actually just doing it except doing it, right? And then the second thing is that I want to mention that in the new methodology updates that I'm working on, the all work plan really becomes the foundation to all of the trajectories, right? Because the whole idea of the trajectories is that everything always has to be included, and everything in the entire vortex is summed up in all of the trajectories. So there can't be any single work priority or anything that needs to be done that isn't included in at least one trajectory, right? So everything starts with the all work plan, and I think you'll like that. So in the model that I'm working on, everything starts with the all work plan, right? That is the
great.
foundation to the trajectory model.
All right, great.
Because the trajectories, like when you look at all the trajectories, they include all of the work. The only difference between the trajectories and the all work plan that currently exists is that The current one is just linear. It just lists every single priority basically in order, and there's like 100 of them, right? Whereas in the trajectory model, everything's going to be organized by trajectory, and every trajectory fits into all of its sub-trajectories, and so basically it's more of a flower, if that makes sense, because it's opening, it's like budding into all these. It's like fractaling, it's like a fractal or a flower or like a natural spiral of responsibilities and priorities instead of a list.
Yeah, we should definitely schedule on that, especially if. Yeah, great. Yeah, because I was looking at it lately. All right, thank you. Sorry for the tangent. I mean, I'm fine now to take a break, 5-minute break, and we can quickly do the training on the Google Calendar, or we can do it later. I don't know. Moth also, I don't know, he left us, but I think he lost the connection.
Okay.
He didn't check out. So what do we want to do?
I'm fine taking a 5-minute break. Joyce, do you want to come back and do this training? I mean, the number one thing is that somebody wants to take the responsibility to do the work, right? Because this is work that needs to be done, and I don't want to do the training unless somebody steps up to do the work.
Yeah,
Okay, I will come back to do the training. Let me see.
What was that? I'm looking for a yes, I want to take responsibility for updating our Google Calendars, or no, let's hold off on that for now, and we can go on to the next topic.
For me, I would hold on, and I want to focus in doing the work that I'm already responsible for and assigned for, and I'm not doing, which is tactical ops, worker criteria. So for me, it's I would take the break and jump and go into the topic 5.
Cool. All right, so it's clear that for Alberto, he's not interested in taking on additional responsibilities for this at this time. So Joyce.
And for the policy keeping, I would like to start using back the Discord automation, which is already my responsibility as a super moderator. So I will start putting reminders every 3 days for the new policy.
And there will be a Discord also.
Yeah, on Discord, I'm gonna use. So I'm saying I don't at this time. I want to hold on the Google Calendar, but I'm not holding on the reminders for the new policy on the team dynamics. So that I'm stepping up, since I'm a super moderator, to create the automated reminders on Discord.
So one of the issues with the Discord model, right, is that you can't see it, right? You only just get the reminders and they pop up, and then after they're gone, or after you don't know what the other reminders are. Whereas in Google Calendar, you'll be able to see, you can either have a spreadsheet and or the actual Google Calendar will show you every single reminder and when it's going to pop up, and so you can see everything in a whole view, right? So anyways, going back to Joyce. Joyce, what do you want? So it's obviously very clear that Alberto does not want to take on additional responsibility on this and prioritize it. So what about you?
To update the Google Calendar?
No. I'm not looking for someone to update anything. I'm looking for someone to take on full responsibility for the Google Calendars. Basically, you'd be the calendar manager. You'd be overseeing the Google Calendars for the web page, and you would take on the multiple responsibilities required to make sure that work is done on time, ideally, and for the benefit of the team, right? That's the whole point here, is that you be like, this is where I think people get disconnected on our model and all our strategies. Is like, if you want to go and you want to post something online on Facebook or whatever, it's like, go post something on your webpage or your own Facebook or whatever. But if you want to do it for the organization, you now have to take full responsibility for the entire Facebook platform. There's like 10 different responsibilities of things that happen on Facebook on behalf of the organization, right? So you can't just just go update and send one post. No, it's not about doing one post or one Google Calendar thing. It's about actually.
I need some help too.
Help? When do you need help? Do you need class? Well, I need to get going here soon. But the point that I'm trying to make is that, yes, you want to just update one single Google Calendar invite, but that's not helpful for the team, right? It helps short term for like one thing, but what we need is someone to actually step up and do the work to update continuously all of the Google calendars and all of the information that needs to be done. It's the same thing with whether you're doing Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever. If you want to step up and do the platform for LinkedIn, you can't only do the one thing that you want to do. You have to take in responsibility for the entire platform and the entire presentation of the organization on that platform, including all of the follow-up, all of the communications, all of the messaging, everything, right? All of the recruitment, any of it, like anything that's going on the platform, you have to take. So there's like 5 or 10 responsibilities for each social media platform, right? And the same is true with the Google Calendar. If you want to take, you can't just like choose like, oh, I'm just going to do this one Google Calendar. It's like, no, you got to do the whole thing. Otherwise, it doesn't actually help us